Well, joining me now to talk more about this is Hunder, who's director of the Ukrainian Institute in London. I just want to start by getting your overall thoughts on what we've seen today. We've been saying that the result is very much a foregone conclusion. There are questions and concerns around the credibility of this vote. Nevertheless, does today's referendum mark a new watershed in the Ukraine crisis?
I think in terms of the numbers, I think we're no surprise there. I mean, the figure of 89%, it was actually intercepted in calls by the secret services 2 days ago, and they recommended to use this figure. So I think, this isn't representative of the whole region. And I think it's really important now to understand, what next. And that is the question. The major issue now is for the presidential elections to take place. The question is whether or not the Donetsk authorities and the oligarchs, whether or not they will agree with that.
One of the separatist leaders, Denis Pushilin, has warned that all Ukrainian troops on his territory will be declared illegal, that they will be seen as occupiers. Is that just rhetoric, or could we see the separatists now really step up their armed resistance?
Well, the rhetoric, I mean, because the referendum has been recognized as being illegitimate, no observers in terms of, we don't know what really the vote was. So I think it's really important to understand, what next. I think in terms of the local oligarchs now will be deciding. There's been talk of them possibly putting together some sort of army of their own. But I mean, that'll be totally illegal. And I think that they will face the consequences from the legal aspects of the land.
You look at the recent instability, the febrile atmosphere in eastern Ukraine. Surely there's no way an election can take place come May 25th in these circumstances, under these conditions?
I think if we look across the majority of the country is still in a very stable state, and its life is normal. I mean, there are pockets of violence, yes. What we saw today in Krasnoyarsk and other cities, there are these pockets. We have to ask, why these events are being sort of highlighted and why they're taking place. But generally, I think the elections will take place in a fortnight, and a new president will be elected.
Is there any way Kiev can mend relations with eastern Ukraine, or have they lost whatever influence they had?
I think the dialogue is there. The governor of Donetsk, Serhiy Taruta, he's a local. He knows the region very well. I think Ukraine has been a very centralized country. The government's been very centralized. I think on all sides there will be talk now of decentralization, and I think Kyiv will be open to that. But with a new president, giving more powers to the regions, I think this could be a step of taking the country forward.
Hunder, thank you very much for your analysis.
Thank you.